Listen, I want to explain to you why you shouldn't run Facebook ads. And as crazy as this probably sounds for me to say, because half my content is about Facebook ads and why you should do Facebook ads, I want to play devil's advocate for a quick minute and get honest with you around why Facebook ads probably is not the right thing for you. So I'm gonna not just point out the problems with Facebook ads today, specifically in 2024, but also highlight the solutions to these problems should you choose to run Facebook ads, because yes, this is still my main traffic source. This is still how I make almost all of my income, okay? So I wanted to walk you through this so you have the perspective before you start, or if you're struggling or actively scaling with success right now, and how you can make the most of the opportunity should you choose to either start or continue running Facebook ads for yourself. So the first thing that I wanted to highlight with Facebook ads is, well, they're expensive. They're much more expensive on a CPM basis, on an impression basis, than they were back in 2016 or 2017, when you could get traffic for half the cost often, right? And part of that is the inventory, the competitiveness. Naturally, every ad platform will increase in cost over time. We saw this with Google search, pay-per-click. Back in the early 2000s, it was super inexpensive. You saw guys like Gary Vaynerchuk maximize it, and look where he is now. And whereas now with Google, you might spend $50, $100 for a click for some specific niches, right? So that's the first thing, and this really came to my attention when I was with my buddy Andres today, who runs a really successful agency, and he does strictly outbound marketing to acquire new customers. And it's very interesting to hear this, because I'm so focused on how do we acquire via paid traffic for obviously our lead gen campaigns, our lead gen clients, as well as other clients we work with, pay-per-call. But should I choose to launch my own funnel, advertise myself as a service provider, which we're looking at doing for a few things, I know it's going to cost me more than it did in the past, right? So this got me thinking, is this, and asking myself, is this the most efficient and effective use of my time, energy, and resources? Yes, I know how to run Facebook ads. Yes, I've spent tens of millions of dollars, and I've done it successfully over the last 7, 8, 9, 10 years. But is it the best thing to do? And the answer is not always yes, okay? So this has actually led me down a path of learning and understanding outbound and cold email, outbound specifically, so we can implement this not just into our own data sets that we capture with our own lead gen campaigns, but also should I choose to push myself as a service provider outside of what we do already, or just find direct buyers for our own campaigns, which is something we're actively always searching for, which is why I go to all these conferences and I network so much, okay? It was a large reason, right? So the trade-off though is you should probably always do Facebook ads to some extent to promote yourself or to just promote whatever it is that you sell, because it will supplement the organic stuff. But if you're in a position where it doesn't make as much sense today, think about for yourself, what's it cost me to acquire a customer with more of the hustle, the grind, the manual stuff with putting out content like I do on this YouTube channel, and then also doing cold outbound efforts, right? Because this stuff does work, and often it'll get you a cheaper cost per acquisition, right? But you want to supplement that for scale with ads. So should you do Facebook ads? Probably, but maybe not right now. That's for you to decide. The second thing is, anyone that's serious about running Facebook ads for the last few years can attest to the last 4-ish months. Here it is, we're almost in June, believe it or not. Mid-late February, I know I started seeing a lot of inconsistency in the ad platform, and you probably did too, okay? If you're a serious spender, you probably saw larger fluctuations in your cost per lead, your cost per purchase, your cost per appointment, your cost per call, whatever it is that you advertise. And I see this less with some, it's really strange as we run multiple offers, right? But I see this less with some verticals, I see it more with other verticals. Where it becomes a big problem and the most challenging is with the lower ticket items, right? So like car insurance leads, for example, which often pay in the $6 to $8 range, maybe $8 to $10 range. If you have one expensive off pattern day, that's because of the fluctuations with the algorithm, most likely, which is what we think, then you're literally going to be paying for it. It's going to eat your margin alive. Okay, so just keep in mind that can and will happen. So ultimately my solution for this has been to shift to CPA models for some of the offers that we're advertising, where we get paid per deal. And typically this is a higher payout. And in theory, it should earn you more because you're selling more of like a mid-high ticket item versus just getting paid on a form fill or a phone call that lasts 60, 90 seconds, right? So ultimately, sell more expensive stuff. This could be the solution for you if you're struggling right now. Just something to think about, but this is absolutely what's worked for us for the last almost month or so, okay? The third point I wanna make too is you'll definitely lose money testing, okay? Especially today where it is more expensive, and especially today where we're seeing more fluctuations these last few months, specifically with Facebook, okay? So just be ready for that. You have to be in the mindset and also financially be in a position where you can afford it, but more importantly, to be able to weather the storm here. I know anyone watching that runs ads in general has some experience with this, good and bad. Understanding that losing money at some point, typically in early, hopefully early only, is part of the game, and it should be part of your game plan. If you expect every offer to be a home run out of the park, day 1, day 2, day 3, and continue from there, you're delusional, okay? So we do get lucky sometimes, we do hit home runs sometimes, but in reality, I find almost every offer, e-com, lead gen, pay-per-call, doesn't matter, I'm losing money up front. Maybe that's a couple $100, maybe it's a couple $1,000. It all depends, and it depends on really your threshold for what your tolerance is to eat the burn, we should say, right? And how well you handle the stress of it, okay? And that brings me to my last point, and this is really to add to this relatively short video of me just candidly speaking to you as a fellow media buyer, fellow advertiser, is that this is stressful and it is part of the game. So anything you can do to balance out that stress for yourself is only going to make your decision-making function better, okay? Remember, media buying or running ads in itself is a skill set within the business. It's almost like a business within the business. It's its own ecosystem of KPIs and performance metrics and managing a process in itself, and it's a very demanding process. But ultimately, if managed correctly, this should be the lifeblood of your business and what drives sales, what drives revenue, what drives conversions as a whole, and really keeps your business moving forward, okay? Because like I said, the organic stuff is excellent, and I made a lot of money from organic stuff off my YouTube, for example, and my Instagram. But in the reality, what's given me the most stability and the most consistency has been the campaigns we run that were driven, powered, and pushed by paid advertising. And this is an argument probably for really depending where you're at in your life and your business. This may make the most sense for you today, but it also may make no sense for you because of the stress and the skill set and the learning curve that comes with it. I'm always learning and testing and trying new things when it comes to media buying and performance marketing, specifically around Facebook, because that's just where I've been focused the last few years. Unless something changes completely and Facebook ultimately stops functioning or they double their costs overnight, which I don't see happening, okay? But nonetheless, just want to share this with you. This is not a highly edited video of me walking around or showing my lifestyle. It's really just me speaking to you directly from the perspective of someone that spent tens of millions of dollars on Facebook ads, and how you can hopefully learn and shortcut the problem solving that I've gone through, not just from these general ideas in this video, but also the other content on this channel. So if you enjoyed this, if you got something from this, make sure to like and subscribe right after. And as always, if you have any questions around this or anything when it comes to Facebook ads, conversion optimization, or performance marketing in general, go and drop them in the comments below.